Hi, it's Russ from Pro Tools Expert, and I've been sent some of the Drums on Demand series sample libraries for us to take a look at and give our thoughts on them. Drums on Demand already do loops and stuff over at their site, but they've created these kits due to popular demand from some of their users already as sample libraries now, rather than just the loops. So you can actually play them individually because you want to program your own loops or use MIDI loops with it. And so we've been sent over several of them, blues and boogie, some country sets, some funk stuff, and one called the Vibe Kit, which is kind of heavily compressed and got a lot of cool stuff on it as well. Just to show you what you get when you buy it, just go over to Finder for a moment. These are some of the kits that have been sent over to us. And so, for example, here's the blues and boogie kit, and you can see here the instruments we get. We get an EXS and an NKI, which is a console. So we get to basically a Logic sampler, and then we get to one for Kontakt, and then we get one for structure, which is why we took an interest in these. So if you're structure use, this is cool. Then you also get the samples. You can go in and there's the samples in their individual formats. You can go and grab those and use them as well. There's also a refill as well for use in Reason and also Garageband 2. So Garageband instruments. So nice and comprehensive as well. And so it's simply a case of downloading them, unzipping them, and then using them in your favourite samplers. So we've tried them in both structure and also Kontakt as well. And sound-wise, what they're really going for is sound. So there's not lots of knobs and whistles and stuff like this. It's literally just the sound. So if I play a few kits, this is the Boogie Kit first. With some ride. Okay, let's try the country. Now, the country's got several kits as well, which is often changing the snare out. So that's with the brass snare. It's a Remo Piccolo snare. Then a Noble Cooley snare. And then a Drumworks snare. Then here's a funk kit. Much tighter. Let's show you the Vibe Kit now. Much more treated. Might use for R&B or house. But let's look at a couple of kits. Let's look at the Noble Cooley in some more detail now. So if you get in, then in structure you can break that out and you can go in, you can check things out. So if you go to something like the snares for a minute, and we could go in there and take a quick look at those snares, go to edit, and we can see it's mapped several different snare samples there. So obviously it's velocity. And over two keys is always helpful, so you don't get too much of the old machine gun trouble. So they're all mapped to velocities. Same with kicks as well. So look at the kick for a minute. And a couple of kicks there. That's all very nice. They've also managed to make sure that if you're using the hi-hats, they're mapped so that you can close the open eye hi-hat with the closed and the foot one. But very nice. See the toms as well. From what I can tell, in the country kit, the only thing we're swapping out with these instruments is the snare drums as you go through them. And again, we've got various velocities on the cymbals. But all very nicely recorded. I think for those of you that just want to use drum kits without things like BFD or Strike or anything like that, where you just simply want to have a kit you can then program yourself, then they're really nicely recorded, really nicely set out. I think a couple of things I would like to have seen here. For example, they could have mapped the smart knobs here on Structure to allow you, especially if you're using Structure free, to control things such as pan or the volume of certain instruments, or perhaps even adding a reverb in would have been nice as well. Because if you had, at the moment, that's not bad. But if I just add just put the air reverb in, which is the basic one. Just a bit of drum room. It really does help to lift that, and that would have been possible in Structure. Just to give it a bit more life. And then you could have turned it on and off or changed the size of the room and stuff. That's all possible when you actually create structure libraries. So, but I get that they're trying to give you the base level of stuff that you can then bring into your favorite sampler. So I get that they couldn't really concentrate on Structure or concentrate on Kontakt in too much detail. But as a whole, they're good libraries. They're not expensive libraries. They're coming in at about less than $20 a library. So for that, they're a real bargain and well worth checking out. So there we go. Drums on Demand. Check them out. Go over to their site. There's lots of different stuff. There's metal stuff there. But as I say, we've had some blues and some country and kind of the middle of the road stuff really here that we've been able to check out. But well recorded. Nicely executed, very thorough set of libraries that you get when you download it, so well worth checking out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.